During the 1970s, California's inmate population leveled off, so no new prisons were built. But the 80s were different. A get-tough attitude on crime, combined with a surging population, doubled the number of prisoners between 1980 to 1985, from 25,000 to 50,000.
To deal with the mounting violence, gang members first were separated from other prisoners. Then, with gang rivalry still a serious, violent problem, hardcore Bloods and Crips were isolated from one another. Finally, Crips were placed in single-man cells to prevent them from preying on each other.
You upset?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. There's a lot of different groups that look to you for, and apparently it may have helped in the system, but not out here in the streets, right?
Well, in the system, it did to a degree as far as them being aware of the system and how the system was manipulating, but it was too many numbers. It was too many.
Too many.
Yeah, too many.
So you can't really have just one leader when you got thousands of people.
No. You have to have one ideal. And they did not have one ideal. Some of them were cultural, some of them were revolutionary, some of them were still locked into tribalism.
Now, I know you don't glorify gangbanging. We're just giving some history and telling some old stories.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Before CCO, Blue Magic on level 3's Tracy and Soledad, Blue Magic was the Crip law.
Who was y'all fighting? Who was Blue Magic's enemy?
At the time, Bloods. That's what happened. They killed a Crip in the gym in I think in 1983. And when that was a big war.
First of all, Crips didn't get the blood off the line. When they saying got killed, we put our work in, but the administration took them off the line because we was super thick. We was deep. Don't nobody even know how the ride started. The ride started because Snake, resting in peace from Avalon, and Big Devil from front of it, kicked it off at orientation.
Gladiator School, Tracy, California. Tracy Prison, the year of 1983, October the 10th. This is the battle of all battles. Little Devil, original front hood, came back on a violation, and he came in E-Wing. E-Wing is the orientation wing. Papa T from Phi Deuce Bishop, which is the Pueblos, his little brother, Little Papa T, was there in orientation with Devil, and something transpired between them two over the telephone. And I guess Little Devil didn't want to go for it and didn't want to hear it, being that he was a troublemaker anyway. So he kicked it off by grabbing a broom or a mop, and he started hitting Papa T with the broom and the mop over a phone call, right? So the deputies, or I mean, not the deputies, but the K9s or the correction officers, they tried to intervene to break it up, and he started whooping on them with the same stick. Little Devil ain't no joke, and they locked the wing down. Because when they did go around to each wing, telling each commander of each wing what the problem was, Reno told all the Damus, which are the Blood family, not Bloodline, not UBN, Blood family. This is what Rooster started. Come out swinging. We ain't going for this no more. They want it, we gonna serve it to them. Everybody come out swinging. Then that's what happened. Soon as the gates open, in my wing, little Fish from Hoover, not the one from 9-4, but the one from 7-4, over there by Florence. He got stabbed up in the wing, you know what I'm saying, by a Damu, you know what I'm saying? And then when the kitchen workers, when they went to the field house, it jumped off at the field house. And what took place at the field house was you had 4 Bloods and you had 4 Crips that went to the weight pile inside the field house. And they went straight to the weight pile. And they squared off. And they started lifting weights. And out of nowhere, I don't know who initiated it, but they started throwing weights at each other, trying to clock each other with the weights. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, my brother. It's no secret. Even Bam know this. Yeah, Bam from Front Hood, he know about this. You know what I'm saying? They were throwing weights at each other so hard and so fast that the 3 Crips ran and left 1 Crip by himself. Yeah, they left insane. From Broadway Gangster. Yeah, 5 dudes, they left that brother for dead. Yeah, and the 4 Bloods had their way with him. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting hit in the head with a dumbbell, stabbed all up, all because he's standing by himself fighting 4 guys that he think is he helping the other 3 guys. And they're not even thinking about him. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to let you know this. You know what I'm saying? For a fact. You know what I'm saying? That war, you know what I'm saying, was senseless.
It's certain levels that person really, if you come in there and you want to just do your time, break some soups, a spread, and go home. See, I never had that. I was in the hole for 10.5 years. So I was only on the main line 2 months in 10.5 years. Both months was in Tracy. The first month was me just getting it, pretty much dogged out. Yeah, we don't know this nigga making up a set and all that and all. Until I got into it, and the same dudes, like Rainbow, man, all them dudes, Bitter Chow from 99 Mafia, straight riders, you know what I mean? I grew up with riders. And so they was all hard on me, you know what I mean? Nigga, you ain't know, because I hadn't made my bones yet, And then one of the homies was getting jumped by some Bloods in our unit, and I jumped in and I got stabbed in the face.
Once program started, in the day room that night, it went down, man. It went down. They must have timed it. Like, hey, okay, everybody at 6:30, F-Wing, you take off, and then when the police run down to F-Wing, H-Wing.
Machine was San Quentin's gang, Crip gang, organized Crip gang. Blue Magic was Soledad and Tracy. So when all of us started going up to Quentin, and they were machines. So we were kind of like beefing a little bit, but then they consolidated. That's why they call it Consolidated Crip Organization.
But we had homies like Sumo, Tabori, Hoover Joe, Mad Lou, Pretty Tony, Ascari, Tyree Nim, numerous other brothers, Marcellus Nim.
Blue Magic was in Soledad with Big Russ. James Miller, rest in peace.
Harlem's.
Yeah, Harlem's. These dudes long-term prisoners, had been down since the 70s. Tyrone, Red, Chili, these dudes, movie star, Motown, Mad Habit Rabbit, dudes that we knew from the street, or we had reps from the street.
And the trickery of CCO was they say, like I said, they say that one of the homies, again, Hoover, who was BGF, helped form the Constitution.
Once they started reading black literature, it opened their eyes to a different avenue of things. All these cats was militants. They got to reading this black literature, they became militants, and they created a structure that was awesome and well put together.
And you didn't go with that transition?
They tried to twist me up when I first got there. And so I was young, and they told me, that crap, and I didn't know no better. And I didn't know no better.
Why do you use the
because they was trying to say that because I was a Blue Magic, I was automatically a CCO. When I came up from Tracy, all the people that I was with, they took me from them and brought me to AC. So I was in AC without the death penalty. I was the only one for a long time.
How long were you there for? What years?
From like 83 to 85 or something like that. Yeah.
So many people like you were mingling with death row inmates.
One. I was the youngest inmate to go to AC. They came later.
So wait, the SHU program in San Quentin death row is right next to
That's AC. It's called the Adjustment Center. I was on death row on the yard. I was on their SHU program yard. I was in their whole yard. Like when they get in trouble, that's where they go. I was on that yard. I didn't have death penalty. They just didn't have nowhere to put me. It's the newest building in San Quentin. It was built like George Jackson was in there. It was built for the hard, like Charles Manson was my neighbor. It's like the worst of the worst.
And you're intermingling with death row inmates?
Yeah, they
put you guys on the same yard?
Yeah. I was on the yard with Feed, Tretch, Evil, all of them. Tookie.
This is where you met Took at.
Yeah.
Well, I was Blue Magic first, right? And basically, when CCO came about Viva Blue Magic, everybody was Blue Magic. Really supposed to be CCO, but some of them didn't want to be CCO.
So when did you become aware of CCO?
I became aware of CCO in 1983.
And you weren't pulled in by other Compton CCOs?
Well, one of my big homies was a general. One of my big homies was one of the generals of CCO. So I wanted to be a part of what he was a part of.
When you say big homie, you mean another Compton Crip or a front Crip?
Another Compton Crip. Now, when I say big homie, man, I got big homies that ain't from just front here. That's a title earned, not just given.
And Malone.
That's my big homie.
Marcellus.
That's my big homie. They from Compton, though.
Specifically where they from?
Well, Big and them, they from the Grandies, right? Marcellus from Lantana. He ain't asking about Sumo. Sumo from the Grandies.
Good man.
Feel me?
Sumo.
That's my big homie.
Ascari.
That's my big homie. He from the 60s. That's my big homie, though.
And what's your name?
My name Lil Scarry. They call me Bam. But these is dudes that laced me. He was like some of my mentors in prison.
All them brothers, Marcellus, Heron, let him rest in peace, Sumo and Big Ant, they earned the title for me as calling them my big homie. Now, you hear a lot of people say they ain't got big homies. I'm 62 years old, gonna be 63 in a month and a half. I got big homies. Because that's the title earned and not just given. And all of them earned that title of being called my big homie.
For one, let me clarify another thing. I ain't got no big homies.
When I say I don't have any big homies, I don't. I don't have any big homies. And the reason why I say that is because my older homies from my hood, I respected them and they respected me. I mean, we acknowledge each other by our name, not this big homie, little homie title. So when I say I don't have any big homies, in that sense, I don't have a big homie where we talking about someone want to control you or step on you or think because they older than you, they better than you.
I'm the first one from my hood that went to fucking prison before my hood thinking they was going to prison. I was at motherfucking YTS. I was at motherfucking Paso. I was at motherfucking Preston. I was at motherfucking Nellis. They put me in Cleveland. I told the motherfucking, why I'm not over there in the madhouse. They said, you ain't tough enough. And I put that counselor head through the goddamn window. Then went to the madhouse and went through them niggas. I was that motherfucker. I'm the motherfucker got kicked out of YTS in 1978 at 16 years old. They had to send me to Tracy State Penitentiary to get off the motherfucking bus. And all of a sudden, you get two Nathaniels who stabbed up three Mexican mafia. I said, this is where I want to be when I saw violence like that. I'm that motherfucker when they slid, you go in your cell, BGF slide a book up front of your motherfucking cell, and now you open the book, now you Jama. Now I slid that book back and went out my cell, nigga. I ain't nothing, nigga. I'm a Compton motherfucking Crip, nigga. That's what I told them niggas. Now I'm that motherfucker who rebelled against anybody and everybody when it wasn't right. I'm the motherfucker who stood up for every young homie that came in the system with me, during me, and after me when these so-called punk-ass OGs tried to slap them because they wouldn't jump for them. I'm the one who challenged all them niggas.
Ascari. You know what I'm talking about, right? He ran up under that. Richie Rich. Even though Motor Mouse was from the 60s, he fell up under this triggeration. And once he fell up under his indoctrination, started getting stronger and stronger, and he started indoctrinating other Crips. But most of their generals was in the hole. That was dictating for the ones that was on the yards.
Right. So you start hearing things. I mean, they got two constitutions, but it really wasn't no two constitutions. It was the Central Committee and the Subcommittee. Me and Whiskey was on the subcommittee. The generals was the Central Committee. The subcommittee consists of people with rank. I got my rank in Tracy, right? And we had a Crip meeting. It was about 30 of us on the yard. And they said, man, who y'all want to nominate for a sergeant in the Crip Corps? Rainbow and Richie was the two that nominated me. and Tim from Harlem. Some people didn't like it. They after the meeting, I walked away being a sergeant. You know what I'm saying? And my big homies never allowed me to keep that position.
I did, and went to juvenile camp in 1978, did 6 months, got out of juvenile camp in 78, then went back to juvenile hall, spent about 3 months bouncing back and forth from Orange County Juvenile Hall to Riverside Juvenile Hall, eventually went to YA, stayed in YA from 80 to 82, got out of YA in 1982, successfully fumbled my YA parole and wound up in prison in 1982. I found my nature aligned with what most refer to as CCO. It would be the individuals who I looked up to as I was growing up, individuals like Russell Capers, currently known as Talib, BJ, James Miller, Kenny Robinson, and one particular individual, not from the neighborhood I come from, is this guy Clarence Hoover, who was from Hoover, they were real influential in some of the things that I was involved in prison.
They gotta be structured. Prison is an environment. You have to have structure to be respected. You know what I'm saying? You can't thrive in a prison environment effectively with no form of structure about yourself.
Structure is nothing but rules, Melly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people believe if you're on the paperwork, like you got cut on you, that's what a lot of our moves say, right? Or you turn it against your hood. So when somebody used to ask me in the pen, where you from? I ain't say I'm CCO. I'm Compton front of the Crip. That's where I'm from. I'm Compton Crip.
It was already made. I had got made kind of jail.
While in high power, I met Suma, the general of the CCO. He said he had heard of me and that if I needed anything to let him know. He and Tony Stacy, another CCO member, had come down from Folsom, but OSS had locked them in 1750 right away. Peabody, general of the UBN, was there too.
Did you run across Peabody from UBN?
No, never. That's another dude. Now, I got some pictures back from Peabody one time, some cat from OBG back in 85. We was in high power, and Suma came down. It was the time I got recruited in the CCO. And Suma sent me a kite and asked me to check this dude named Death Wish from OVG. Death Wish had some pictures that belonged to Peabody to get the pictures back. So I went and pressed the dude for the pictures, gave the gang a stack of naked pictures and shit. I sent them back to Peabody. Peabody sent me a big ass box of candy and shit. LA85. But other than that, I never had I never seen him face to face, never talked to him.
On a visit one night, Tony said that they had come down to try to hook me up. They wanted me and Insane from Playboy Gangster. I was flattered but skeptical. Once in the organization, you were in for life. He asked if I wanted to take a stand and I told him I'd think about it. Monster, he said frankly, you've done too much damage to the Crip Nation. We can't let you continue to kill our citizens. Either you hook up or you must be destroyed for the good of the C Nation. The following day, I called Big Frog and asked him what he thought. He was under the old constitution of Blue Magic, which had been combined with Blue Motion to form the Consolidated Crip Organization, a synthesis of the two. No, said Froggy angrily. Don't do it, homie. It ain't for everybody. What you mean? I'll be down there to see you, alright? But don't do nothing till then. I hung up and went to my cell confused. The next day I went to court and missed Frog's visit. The following day I told Tony I was ready, that I was in. When I went to court again the following day, I met Juana from Hoover, a CCO member who had also come down from the pen. He filled me in on small things. When I got back from court, the Constitution was on my desk. To this day, I don't know how it got there, as Tony and Suma were clear across the module in another section. I was trembling even before I began to read it. I had to be sure about this, but it really was do or die. Though I wasn't actually being forced into it, I did feel a little pressured. In the end, it was my choice, and I took it. I read the Constitution, and afterward burned it, as instructed. I was in, hooked up. A member, a comrade, a soldier.
So what was your introduction to CCO? How did you get part of that?
My introduction, I told myself I ain't gonna be a part of nobody's paperwork. I'm Compton Crip until I die. When I went back to Chino, when I caught my new case, I went back to Chino, and we had an incident with my homeboy, rest in peace, Big Heron. That's a motherfucker I idolize. That was my cat right there. I love that cat until his death. I actually paid for his funeral when he died in prison. That's how much I love Big Heron. That was my guy.
Where was he from?
Heron, an OG from Spooktown, Compton, Crips.
Original Compton Crip. Original Compton Crip. He went to jail for a murder he didn't commit and didn't tell and did all them goddamn years just to die in there, and the nigga who did it fucking smoked out.
So at what point did you meet Heron and then you guys caught a case?
Okay, I met Heron 83.
83.
Yeah, that was 83.
And you guys...
Caught a case 84.
And it was you, Heron, and who?
JJ.
You, Heron, and JJ. And what kind of case was it?
Yeah, we had robbery, kidnap, robbed, kidnap.
Okay. Yeah. And how much time did you receive on that?
On mine, they just found me for, I had a receipt. They found me guilty on lesser charges.
Heron.
Very person, man, the most loving man, anybody that meet him, male, female, whoever, man. I mean, he just was one of those persons, man, loved by all, man, never hated by no one, man, had all the wisdom and knowledge.
That's what I hear, man.
Shared and all with all, man, stuff, man, it was many, great ones like him, man, and stuff, well, not many, but it was, homeboys, that was like that, man, that had that, man, but he was just a special, man, he was very special, man, and stuff, man, because, you don't run across that, you never, it's just you not, man, and that's one, man, that deserved to be here where we at right now today. Man, brother, man, was always there, man, to teach. He was, a genius.
That was my nigga, Big Heron. Hands down. He was Vanguard. Heron didn't become CCO till later.
Okay, got it.
Way later.
I just want to understand.
Heron was Vanguard.
Okay.
I said Heron, I speak passionate about Heron because Heron was Vanguard. And when he went to San Quentin, homies was mad, he wouldn't step back the way he wanted. They wanted him to step out of Vanguard and come back to the Compton car. So homies was mad about that. And he didn't jump into being CCO when they established it when he was still Vanguard. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. But when Heron stepped back, he stepped back from Vanguard in 1982 in Chino with me because some dude said he's gonna blast Heron if Heron didn't step back. I said, nigga, Heron be on the yard tomorrow. You don't have to blast. I'm gonna blast your ass for my homie, but you running off with your stupid ass mouth.
Who you talking about, Rockhead? Man, look, man. I know that dude personally, bro. Okay. He came into the CCO later in the game. I know Cuz personally. Matter of fact, I saved his neck. If you watching, you know what I'm talking about. I saved your neck in the Chino Guidance Center when we was in Sycamore, when they held court on you on the yard, bro. I saved your neck. Yeah. We ain't gonna get into that, but yeah, come on, bro.
So when Heron came out, Heron said, nigga, I'm not CCO, I'm not Vanguard because you want me not to be Vanguard, nigga. As I'm not Vanguard because, nigga, my young homeboy Rockhead got a lot of love and passion for me. I'm gonna step back for the right reason, not for the reason y'all want me to. But nigga, you wanna see me? And Heron blast him right there. And that's my nigga.
Right. But then you had some brothers that was getting caught up in the triggeration. Just like COs. Slide a note to you. Come in, homie, and throw a letter from their homegirl. And you read it, now you done got into their ledger. Just like that. They was tricking you into this shit.
Listen to me. This dude named Roland was my celly, man. This dude told Lala and them, this Big Speedy and them, and Tracy that I got him drunk and put him under the Constitution. Man, this dude was cellies, homie. We both was corresponding with Big Heron when he was in the county, him and JJ, right? This dude begged me to become a CCO. I'm like, all right, man, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna let you do this, right? Hurry up and rode Heron like he just had a new birth. Like he just been born again, like a born again Christian or something, right? And Big Heron saluted him when he wrote him back. You feel me? But under pressure, dudes were saying, or we was tricking people into reading the Constitution. That's a myth, man. Can't nobody trick you into reading nothing you don't want to read. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody finna slide nothing. If I don't know you, Melly Mel, would you allow me to slide something up under your door? You gonna call me back to the cell, say, man, you got the wrong cell. Get this shit. This ain't for me.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? So them be myths, man, that people say, but that's my opinion. That's a myth. People that I respect say that didn't happen to them with Jammers, but that never happened to me. Jammers ain't never tried to recruit me. Vanguards ain't never tried to recruit me. I recruited myself to be CCO based on my big homies being generals. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna be with my big homies. So I was still a Compton Crip, but I'm gonna be a part of what they about. I was all about the structure.
So when I finally embraced CCO, is because of the educational component. It's because I never finished 7th grade. I couldn't tell you how a middle school certificate was or a high school certificate was. I had to learn shit the hard way. So when they told me I had a quiet period, I fought it. Trust me, homie, I fought it. I didn't read no motherfucking book. I ain't doing no quiet period. I'm talking over the chair. And there was consequences for that. But I had to be man enough to accept them consequences, no matter how radical and how vicious and how violent I was. So I started reading that book. They said, no, right now you gotta read it, you gotta give us a 2-page book report on it. I said, you motherfuckers crazy. What the fuck is a book report? Because I was naive. But when I started doing book reports and I started reading what I wrote, it helped my comprehension. So when I saw the protocol from a foot soldier to a soldier to an officer to intelligence officer to security officer to all that shit, I purposely wanted to learn every step. But the agreement was I am on that central committee, but I would learn every fucking step still. But I had the same equal power with everybody else. So when I saw the education, I saw the discipline, I saw the machine in motion, all that told me we finally got something that was good for us. And at that moment, it was good for us. I promise you, it was good for us.
So CCO's thing was we was the military. Our thing was CCO katika Kiswahili. Fanyala sema lakito piastiku. Ikiwa una kwenda kuongea katika Kiswahili, au fanyala sema lakito no kichwa. Fanyala sema lakito. If you can't speak in Swahili, you don't get nothing after 6 o'clock. If you don't speak in Swahili, sir, you don't get nothing after 6 o'clock. We had to stop speaking English at 6 o'clock. Anything after 6 o'clock on a chair, you had to ask for in Swahili. I need some butter. In Wednesday, need the body siagi. I need some butter. If you say, hey, there's that butter over there, man, I'm putting on this bread, man, make a little sandwich, he would just ignore you.
I heard Lebo and Lil Mimi was smooth with that Swahili. At your peak, what was your bench press?
545 pounds. I was bending Olympic rollers.
How many quarters is that?
Well, that's 5 plates.
5 plates.
5 plates.
And how much did you weigh at that time?
No, it's 5 plates and a 25.
God damn it.
You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I weighed 210. I weighed 210 pounds.
Oh, Lebo, watch this, man. Lebo, Reese Cup, and some of the sharpest dudes I've met to speak the shit out of Swahili. And me and Lebo used to write each other in letters with nothing but Swahili. Sure with it.
So who taught y'all Swahili?
Lunatic Frank and Lebo from Front Hood. Lunatic Frank was my neighbor. Again, that's my homie. I love him. I left him some shoes when I left Folsom. He was to my left. Lebo from Front Hood was above me.
Did you learn Swahili as well?
Well, yes. I mean, you know what I needed to know. Yes.
Okay.
All that, okay. You know, yes, to learn to speak enough to where you can be able to, communicate if it's had to, if it's, it's difficult.
Yeah, because you got the Mexicans and the white boys, they're listening.
And stuff, brother, it don't matter and stuff, because whatever you learning and know how to speak, they know it and stuff too, they go pick up the same book and stuff,
Oh, gotcha.
What you got to do is learn whatever they do,
Rainbow, C-Day, Booth and Raymond, we all taught each other.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? They were my guys.
Yeah.
And without that education, man, without that structure, I don't think I'd be here right now.
And like you said something real critical. You said in the beginning, because when it started in the beginning, you know, I don't believe that it was ever going to be corrupted or anything like that. I just think that it was us reaching the ones that wanted the structure, the ones that didn't have the structure, because Daddy wasn't home. When we got a part of that structure, we began to like it. You know what I'm saying? Even when you first started exercising and quitting and all that, I didn't want to do it at first, but then I started to like it because I knew I had to do that stuff to survive. Yeah. You had that. I mean, it was just tactical, learning how to make weapons. Like when I was in Tracy, and it was us, I was untrained. So I was calling shots, but I was untrained, and I couldn't teach nobody how to make a knife or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was untrained, and they was all little cool. All them dudes was under me. So Big Lebo. But at the same time, you know, when we get to higher levels, to people that are experienced, and they teach you how to do tactical stuff, like working out on the yard. We used to have exercises where we had to put our hands behind our back and fall back in case we get in that situation, and we'll already be in shape to deal with it. You know, you fall back and kick. You know, they teach you how to do all that, and we needed all that, man. We needed all that because it was happening.
When you say, well, again, the training didn't start coming for most of the homies until '83 on up.
Yeah, we was in the best shape of our lives.
Yes. Not right now, but
you had to exercise. And Quentin, if you didn't exercise, you was gonna get hit. You had to have a doctor's excuse, and you would have to stand in the middle of the yard.
You know what's so funny? I was at Whiskey Sugar Barrier.
Yeah.
And one of the homeboys from neighborhood called the Crip T. And then the T said, "You don't remember you saved me, Rockhead? I had an illness, I couldn't exercise, and they was gonna stab me because you got in front of everybody, so y'all not gonna hit that homie." And you were right. You had to exercise.
You had to exercise.
I remember one time I was in the shoot, man. I said, "Fuck this Crip car, I ain't exercising." Them niggas wanted to kill me, man. They killed me, because if I heard motherfuckers say that bill again, I'd be like, "We got a bus on here." Big Hammer let it know. I got this. I got frustrated one day. We got some new dudes came to the shoe, act like we ain't participating in the machine. You gonna participate in this machine.
What was that machine?
At night, every night, instead of East Side, West Side chants, we did the universal Crip cadence. Initially, Elamu would lead, but he eventually taught me the words so I could conduct them. Everyone would be up on their feet, facing the tier, repeating the words, shouting after me. The sound was earth moving. We called it Machine in Motion. Monster Cody, Big Rebo from Compton, would holler every night. Monster Cody, he'd holler again just to make sure everyone knew what was going on. Yeah, I'd reply again, Machine in Motion, which came out with the rhythm like Machine in Motion. And I'd answer Machine in Motion. Then from my left, Elamu would yell, handle that shit, and I'd begin. Crip, 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 Crip. Minds of steel, hearts of stone. Crip machine is moving on. Blue steel, blue flag. Crippin' hard, no turning back. Raise the sea and hold it high. Forever forward, do or die. Spread your wings, raise your head. We are rising from the dead. Who say, see say. Who the greatest, see the greatest. Can't stop, won't stop, will not see stopped. Soldiers, soldiers, war, war. Lose one, kill two. Never rest until you do. Hear the spirit from the grave. Got to Crip every day. The sea is strong, the world is weak. Strength and loyalty is our key. Across the sea and over the hill, gauge in hand, we come to kill. Coast to coast, state to state, machine is on its way. Who say, see say. Who the greatest, see the greatest. Can't stop, won't stop. Will not see stopped. In 69, the sea was born. 16 years and growing strong. From out the east came the sea. From the west came the rest. East side, west side, north side, south side. Nationwide unified, Crip, Crip. Raymond Washington did his best. Crip for years, now he rests. Big took, see like him. Dare to struggle, dare to win. Mac and Sadie, they were down. OG Compton, strong and proud. Hoover Joe, he was right. Cutting throats day and night. Up the hill, down the hill, through the land. Kill the clan, kill the dog on the wall. Bring him down, bust his crown. Who say, see say. Who Who the greatest, see the greatest. Can't stop, won't stop, will not cease, stop. Keep the busters on the run. If you catch him, slice his tongue. Back him up against the wall. To his knees he will fall. Hold your sword, make him beg. No compassion, take his head. Plant the seed everywhere. For we are those who will dare. Uptown, downtown. Blue flags all around. Chitty chatty, bang bang. Nothing but a Crip gang. Crip, Crip. What you want? Freedom. What you want? Now. What you want? Power. When you need it? Now. Uru Sasa, Uru Sasa. Everyone would beam with jubilation at the close of each cadence call. The nation lived.
Blues scene. That's what we called it. Whatever it was the blues scene. It was mandatory exercise.
I just want people to understand what we're talking about.
Big Aaron said, no, I got him. I ain't get physical discipline, but I got him. I had to write 1,000 stanzas and I love Crip. Yeah, we used to do that in prison. I could write 1,000 stanzas and I love Crip. And it couldn't be not, it must be me. I had to do that.
Let me ask you this: were the Crips that were being trained? Did you have to join the organization to be trained, or were you trained uncut Crips?
Well, first of all, you had to be on the Crip yard.
P, if you come on this motherfucker and you ain't functioning like you supposed to be functioning, you gonna get handled. And this is what people need to understand. CCO law was the Crip law. So you didn't have to be CCO if you broke a rule or was in violation to the structure of Crip. We was the overseers of Crip. You gonna get dealt with. And we was with that revolutionary mentality. We had that philosophy, that revolutionary philosophy that we believe in our blackness, that we're black first, but we gonna keep it Crip. I had Big Speedy from Backstreet do that. He was shaking like a leaf. Sometimes, hey, bam, man, they got me in the hat. Man, if you was in the hat, homie, you'd been got. You ain't in the hat. Chill. Oh, man, get that sumo, get that arrow. Man, you ain't in the hat, bruh. You ain't in the hat. In the hat mean your name is in the hat. At any given time, you might get an issue coming. You feel what I'm saying? And I was telling him, that's what I love most about sumo, man, and Big Scarby. I'm the Scarby. They told me to run that line the way I see fit to run that line. And I ran it like that. Hey, all right, if you already got an issue, there's no need in you getting another issue, man. Leave it alone. If you keep talking about it, you're going to talk up on it.
San Quentin was the CCO headquarters, though recently the Central Committee has been moved to Folsom. But they had well-disciplined cadres in every prison who, upon order, were ready to plant some steel in anyone's chest. More important, they were educators, teachers, and protectors of the Crip Nation. It's a trip how fast their language became our language and how their ways became the ways of all of us. Together we were a nation, the Blue Nation. One cell was designated as the community canteen. Everybody had to donate something out of their share of store-bought items to the canteen. It was used for those who had nothing and no one to send them anything.
All right, I'm in the cell with Killer from 107, who at that time he was in good standings and he was a member of the CCO.
His attitude had changed tremendously. He had none of the old craziness that I remembered him from when we were growing up. He had gone to camp back in '79 for kidnapping, a 9-0 when war broke out. His demeanor was now humble and sure, with an air of confidence. He was respectful to the point of almost being silly. Excuse me and please, he'd say. And instead of thank you, he'd say asante, which is Swahili for thank you. I was tripping out on his actions. Every morning, he was the first one up, cleaning the cell, wiping the floor with a wet rag on his hands and knees. And each morning, he'd say, Habari Yasabui, good morning in Swahili. I finally asked Killer about his change one day when we were alone. What changed you, Killer? Actually, the process took some time, he said. At first, it seemed strange to me. You know, having someone tell you what to do or how to act, what you can say and what you can't say. But by reading about our African heritage, I learned that the things my comrades were saying were right, and that most of what I learned in school or in the hood was wrong. Through our heritage, I learned what it really means to be a Crip, a real Crip. What you mean, real Crip? We in the Consolidated Crip Organization, or CCO, believe that Crips means clandestine revolutionary, internationalist, hardy soldiers. And with this knowledge of ourselves, we believe we as tribesmen have an obligation to our people.
So him and Rebo used to talk. And I noticed that the other CCOs in the unit, there's about 13 of them. No, about 9. They all looked at Rebo with respect too.
Another cat's fate was sealed when paperwork arrived, transcripts revealing his testimony. I volunteered for the mission. The CCOs wanted him stabbed, which was fine with me. Elamu, however, chose Rebo for the mission. Later that day, in front of the nurse and everyone else, Rebo stabbed Richie Rich 8 times with the nice pick.
I was just Big Rebo attacking.
Was Rebo CCO?
No, Rebo belonged to a group that preceded CCO.
But I was cool. I was always sociable. I talked to wardens. I got homies out the hole. Lil Jock, Blue, they talk about it today in the hood. Yeah, Big Rebo worked for the warden and that. Shit, I couldn't help it if I was social.
Back in the day, man, either you was gonna be align yourself with somebody, or you just gonna do your time. If you mind your business, you're gonna be okay. You can't get around no racial riot. That's taboo, man. You're a Crip and blood by choice, but you black from birth. You feel me? And the CCOs pushed that thing. Then a lot of dudes who ain't never been to the pen, they was going by the myth of what they heard. All them CCOs ain't nothing but junior BGFs. No, man, CCO was the best thing happened for Crips in the penitentiary. Is BGF still in Cali prison? Yes, they are. Yes, they are, but not as, they don't move like they used to move. And that's because of a new era. Just like Bloods don't move like they used to move when they first started going to prison.
But you authored that book, Chronicles of a Dirty Prison War. And you also worked on a second book, correct? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, my second book is my autobiography. It's called War Without Justice, The Life of the Constitution. I will follow from that book with Chronicle 2, the unfinished story of the Dirty War in California.
Okay, all right.
So what John Ma did was they wrote CCO's Constitution. And they wrote the Bloodlines Constitution. And then they wrote the Kumi's Constitution. And said these is the 3 groups that we're going to pull our homies from for the movement. Because these is going to be the soldiers.
The BGFs, they was the ones who were still actually at war with the Mexicans when I came to prison. See, the Crips and nobody else was at war with them.
Who were you guys rivaling with during that period of time?
What you mean?
Who was your main adversary on the prison yard when you were there?
And when I first came to CCO, man, our adversaries was the enemy. The police. The police.
See, when the war started with the Mexicans, the Laimi, and the Crips, it wasn't Crips war. It was the BGS group. Olsen Dope and Folsom. Instead of the BGS stepping to the plate as men, they fell on the Crips. And we took it and we ran with it.
We had a big Crip meeting at one time on the bleachers about the whole little thing of the whole C Nation bagging them. So we had came up with a proposal that they were supposed to have stabbed so many Mexicans, right? And we'd get in it. But for some reason, they didn't accept the proposal. So during that time when they didn't, that was the time when we said it ain't our problem no more. But there was a time too when the Crips was really getting upset with them in Old Folsom because they would dressed up and masquerade as a Crip and go stab up a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And they would think it was a Crip, and that became an issue of them putting the C Nation in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? So that became an issue. And like we told them, if y'all not gonna be doing that, dressed up and masquerading as a Crip and get one of our homies hurt. But what ended up happening to the BGFs was, man, when they was at war with the Mexicans, a lot of people that was coming into prison, young black males, they weren't interested in being recruited into nothing, where they were just immediately, being sent to go fight a war in an environment that they don't even know nothing about. So, in the in the case of the Crips and the Bloods, we come in affiliated. You know what I'm saying? We come in affiliated with something. You know, but in their case, they have to try to recruit. It's not like people coming in from the streets like that. Prior to the Crips, remember, nearly everybody came to prison was like non-affiliates. You know what I'm saying? Old gangs from the '60s. You know what I'm saying? So they was more receptive to becoming BGFs. You know, but now here it comes, this late '70s, early '80s, and a whole bunch of Crips coming in. They're not interested in being nothing because they already something from the streets. They're already associated from the street. All they need is organization and mobilization.
When I first went to prison, man, wasn't no Crip in my prison. You know what I'm saying? It was BGF, Vanguard. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. You know what I'm saying? And they tried to recruit me.
The Vanguard was like a mixer, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a mix-up. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the BGF tried to recruit me, man. You know what I'm saying? I said, I respect what y'all do, man. I said, but I'm a grandma. For me to do that would be some mark-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me trying to do what the fifth wave of Crippin is doing. And I'm from the first wave. You know what I'm saying?
Raven Rush had issues with them. They just wasn't smart. They obviously looked down upon us.
Yeah.
So you look down upon us every time a young Crip comes to the prison, and you think a book on a convention or a beer party or something.
Because I know it used to be a rumor they'll slide the paper under your door. Man, they slid that shit under my door. I read it and slid it back.
You are official BGF.
The dragon. I wish they ass would. I love for some of them too, though, man. You know, it's not where you from. It's where you at, man. It's like the riders. I got along real good with the riders.
Then you get the wrong kind of guy like I was, and it just don't work out. So I was uncivilized because I was already young. I was wild. I went through YA, Paso Robles, Nellis, Preston. I went to all of them. Came out of YTS, and the first guy stabbed motherfuckers in church and shit in TS. Stopped going off from one church and shit. I mean, I was a wild card.
They was starting to get outnumbered real bad. You know, they were starting to get outnumbered real bad. So that was one of the things why blacks wanted to get in there too. But other blacks wanted to get in there too. The CCO Crips. But like I say, slowly but surely, I think the pride of a race started kicking in, man. Because they really kind of like started losing bad. You know what I mean? So I think by that, standing around seeing that, it started like, man, look here, man, how can we just stand around here? It's down 100 of us on the yard. How can we just stand here and watch these blacks come up short like this? You know what I'm saying? Because they clearly outmanned them. They clearly outmanned them at the time. And it's not because, like I say, because the BGF was cowards. It's just that they numbers. Why the Mexicans was constantly recruiting, they wasn't. They weren't able to recruit because.
But we outpopulated the BGF. Ain't no more of them. Who
outpopulated?
The Crips. We outpopulated them. They not in existence.
So
that's crazy.
So at one point in time, BGFs and Crips were enemies in prison?
Yeah, always, yeah. That's how I got into it with their ass. Fuck that. I ain't talking shit. On the real. And they got my ass too.
They stuck him up.
You understand what I'm saying? BGFs didn't like us, but they couldn't turn Marcellus and Sumo on them. They couldn't turn them.
Late that same night, a new brother came on our tier and was put in the last cage. He was a member of the Black Guerrilla Family, BGF, a quasi-revolutionary organization with an awesome military machine. They had clashed with the Crips several times in prison and supposedly had killed Pee-wee from East Coast and Tracy in 1983. Do you know Suma? He asked. Yeah, that's my comrade, I declared proudly. Ask him about me. He knows me well. At that, I went back down the tier and repeated everything to old man. He agreed we should wait on Suma. That afternoon, I got a note from Suma saying that CCO had no beef with BGF and that if I could, to watch out for him. And it was he who named me Sanyika.
And right today, if you look at Crippin in the prison now, If you ever been, you'll say, well, CCO might have been the best thing that happened for Crips in prison. Because when CCO was just functioning, CCO law was the Crip law. That was the guidelines Crips followed, was that law. Now we going at each other, there's tribalism up in there. Everybody's for themselves. Something happened to me. If Comptons don't take off, somebody else might not want to do nothing. And that ain't how Crippin' is. Sometimes we turn Raymond over in his grave.
CCO was the first time that we ever had paperwork. And what I mean by paperwork is a code of ethics, an oath, your points, your bylaws, and your basic mode of operandi, what you can and cannot do with the other groups. So for the first time, the Crips had never had that. And at that time, it looked like that what the NF, what the ABs, what the JAMA, and what the MA was doing was logical. And that shit looked like it just happened overnight. But what they had already been involved in was a long-term thing with organized crime. So whenever we see them, they had long been. So CCO thought that they were going to just be just like that. I really believe that. And that's just not how we function. That's just not how Keyway functions.
Crips fight their own self now in jail.
And right before I went to St. Quentin in 1993, I had a conversation with Hoover Joe on 4300 on the Red H module. This is Red H module predates the Crip module. Red H means hostile individual. That was us, the Crips. It was just one tier. And I was center point with them hostile individuals on that 4300. But Hoover Joe came through and I was on my head of murder. I was fighting the murder at this time. I was arrested in January 1982. I was arrested and charged for aiding and abetting a felony murder. So I was convicted, given life without the possibility of parole, and sent off to San Quentin in 1983. And I ended up standing around there for 35 years. Hoover Joe came through and said, "Little homie, me and Joe know each other from YTS." He's like, "I never been to prison. I'm doing my cripping out here on these streets." When I got there in 83, I seen these Crips, out there catering, exercise, looked like it was organized. They were CCOs. They wasn't Joe and Pretty Tony's car. They wasn't Hoover Joe and Pretty Tony C-Machine car. Yeah. So they had, and Joe told me, homies that turned Vanguards, BGF. He's like, SK, if you go to prison, Sparks, you go to prison, fuck them niggas. Just Crip, cuz. Go up in there, represent it. I went up in there not knowing the politics of the terrain. Nigga, the Crips looked like they was organized. The homie was on death row, Big Took, Treasure, and them before I got there. They shot me because I was out there. I was about to go function with these CCO niggas because I like what I saw. Point blank. When I got there, nigga, this is what Crippin' is all about. Yeah. Nigga, these niggas are solid. This is an organization. These Crips got it together. Nigga, I'm in there. Nigga, this is what I want to do. And then these niggas got to give me books and shit about black history and revolution and Marxism. And I was like, oh, all right, that's cool. Then they niggas started teaching me Swahili, and Jamas. I was like, oh, this is what. Then Big Homie Took got at me. He went on death row. Even Tresh, then my, contemporaries, they got to getting at me. And it's like, SK, nigga, you know what you is, it's crippin', nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas from YA to Camp, you stay right on the streets. Some niggas out there know you, cuz. You know them. But what they doing, cuz, ain't Crips. It ain't Raymond. It ain't Raymond Washington, cuz. It ain't Odie, cuz. I was like, yeah, it is, nigga. I wrote them back a cake. Like, niggas, this is Odie, nigga. It's like, then they sent me a motherfucking constitution. They sent me the CCO constitution. And they sent me, that's what turned. They sent me the CCO Constitution, and they sent me the BGF Constitution. And the only difference, I swear, I don't know if they was playing me But they sent me 2 constitutions, cuz. One was the BGFs and one was the CCO. So the Ascari was my next door neighbor. The CCO never had to give me no constitution because they know I'm crippled and they know I'm with it. Nigga, the Doge rack, nigga, Mexican Mafia, ABs, police, whatever. Nigga, Doge rack, I'm crippin'. Nigga, y'all getting down, nigga, I'm knocking everything down in my sight that ain't a crip. So look, they sent me a paperwork saying one is CCO, one is BGFs. I swear to you, and I don't think the homies played me like that, but I swear to you, it was no difference in their constitution. But one said BGF and one said CCO. I told the CCO niggas on their yard. I went into their meeting and told them, no, cuz y'all niggas ain't crappy, cuz. And it's like, what you talking about? I said, first of all, cuz, I'm gonna tell you, y'all fucked up with me on one thing. It was a nigga from Hoover. But one, I went to the East Block Yard. That nigga had a red rag. He trying to teach me. He was in TS. He been knowing me for years. He know how hard my cripping was. So I go to the yard. This nigga got a red rag in like Sparks. It ain't about no blue rag and red rag no more. That fucked me up. For that really, because nigga, I reverend Raymond in this blue rag. I was like, that nigga, that like touched me. That like hit me to the heart. I was like, cuz, you niggas been here 4 or 5 years, cuz. I just left the streets, homie. It's real deal out there. Homies is dying and killing and real about this shit. That hit me that almost made me. I started to knock the nigga out. I like, cuz now, cuz I'm with this organization, cuz, but it's got to be a blue rag. Y'all don't know what kind of crip wave is coming at y'all. Nigga, y'all been here 5 or 6 years. Y'all ain't knowing what them crips is doing in LA. Especially the Compton niggas and the East Coast niggas. You know, Suma, all y'all. But when them niggas gonna wake up, them niggas gonna, if it ain't cripping with them niggas, and if they feel like it's anything other than that, y'all in trouble, cuz. Y'all niggas gonna get out of prison, them niggas gonna knock y'all down. Big Took, even with all his, muscles and reputation on the west side, the CCOs didn't give a fuck about Big Took, first of all. You trust me. They told me straight up, that's another thing. Forget about Big Took on death row. I like, nigga, I ain't gonna never do that. Nigga, I ain't gonna never forget about Max Thomas. I ain't gonna never forget about Raymond Washington, nigga. And I'm certainly not gonna forget about Big Took, nigga, that's still here. CC, I swear, cuz, on every blue rag, nigga, that ever laid on any coffin anywhere, nigga, I put my hand on it. Them niggas told me, Ascari from 60, told me to forget about Took. I was like, no, nigga, I can't do that, girl. And if nigga, you come out the cell, nigga, you need, I got your hair. He never came out the cell because I would have stumped him out. But he was my nigga. He's that sports. Forget, I like, cuz, I can't do that. So when you come out the cell, cuz, you got one coming on me. Next thing I know, a kite was dropped on me and they rolled me up.
The BNCO took off and stabbed Kidogo, Rabbit, and Rojo. The Hoover stabbed Nachi and Taliba. The CCO struck back and stabbed Glenn, Kincaid, and Spark. Shit got crazy fast.
I was like 23 years old. I'm in San Quentin. I'm in the hole, busting up pig. I'm trying to emulate the cats coming before me because this is all about emulation. It's all about carrying your leg of the race. When you're handed the torch, you got to carry that leg of the race. That's your obligation. When you think you can't carry no more, pass it off.
In 1987, I was locked up on some trumped up charges, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm free now. They had me locked up for 16 months, you know what I'm saying? For a crime I didn't commit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here now today pumping my new album.
Fresh out the pen, spitting the rhyme, 415, do it or die. I don't gangbang, I just multiply. Never running a pack, straight down for mine. Never sweated a day, I get time. I was in the hole, but I'ma tell you this. 415, a straight convict, feet lie down, 501s, a rope around my neck and it's going on the 3 yard, get straight respect. 415, I don't quit when the phone comes, I ain't no coward, fuck a police and a gun tower. Yes baby boy, this is the pen, a place you never ever been.